Hi friends, welcome back to the Cactus Atlas. Our long day continues on the way to our last camping spot of our 2025 Camp View Northern Tour. We left Great Basin National Park, checked out the town of Pioche, and now take off to revisit Cathedral Gorge. All right, let's head on out, actually. I think, if I interpret my receipt correctly, I think you can check in at 11 a.m. at this campground. I could be wrong.
In 600 feet, turn right onto Nevada 321 South
So
Main Street.
by the time I get there, I should be there like at 11:30 a.m. We're really close. So we're gonna try and see, because I just kind of want to get set up.
321 South Main Street.
I'm thinking I just need to have a longer afternoon to myself than usual. I'm now towards the end of the trip. Woke up with a headache today. I'm gonna have to get the Tylenol or ibuprofen out of my
south for 3 miles.
Out of the truck here. I just feel a little worn out today. I don't know what it is. I've been going strong. I started off strong this morning, and as the day's gone on, I think maybe things are starting to catch up with me a little bit. I have to be honest, and I still have to explore Cathedral Gorge State Park and set up my tent and stuff, and although there's a lot of day left, it's going to be hot there, I fear. Hotter than what I've been used to. But anyway, let's enjoy the road out of town, and we will continue. But yeah, that didn't feel adequate to me for my usual exploration. I know, like even in the courthouse, I was kind of like a quick in and out, just because I'm really starting to not feel the greatest. But I gotta document the good and the bad, and we are gonna get things done, don't worry. I have a feeling this might be a pretty drive out of town too. Very small town, Pioche. But a lot of character. It actually works out pretty well too that I am pretty close. Oh, there's another head frame down this way. That I'm really close to my destination, because this SD card is really low because I did the bonehead move and let it run for like 20 minutes or however long it was, probably close to 20 minutes. So my plan is to finish my last Camp View drive-through, which I have to do that today also. That's another reason why I'm kind of, trying to keep things moving along here of Cathedral Gorge Campground. And I want to get there in the middle of the day before other folks arrive. I'm trying to see if there's a way down to that mine. There's a head frame right there, but I don't see. Oh, it's private property, so nope, no can do. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just really interested in, right along the road, I keep interrupting myself, but another pit over there, or a shaft. The guy that let me into the museum also let me know he does a lot of contract work, so he's been contracted to do work at Cathedral Gorge. I think he said he helped tear down an old bathroom, or they're doing renovations there. So he confirmed they have showers. I didn't think they did. So that's another thing I need to do today. That would be really nice right about now. And then see, there's a never-ending list of things to do. So probably not too much to say until we get into Cathedral Gorge. And if you've never heard of it or seen it, you're gonna be really, I think, pretty amazed by the spectacle that the earth can put on sometimes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just shut up for the moment in the last like 10 minutes or so, get you some footage from the road and put some music over it. All right, I made it in the campground. It's a nice campground so far. The site's beautiful, actually. So far, actually, there's a really large tent pad too. Man, they really did this place up right. Very clean, well manicured. And Site 6, my name is on the actual sign. Although I think today's the 11th, I think. I need to double check that. But this is it. I actually have a pavilion with shade in it, which is very welcome out here. It's hot. It's really hot down here, I'm not gonna lie. The tent's gonna be set up there, but I might just be sitting under here for a while in a chair. Maybe I need to learn how to nap sitting up. But basically, all I have to do is set up the tent one more time, and then I gotta take it down one more time in the morning, and that'll be it. For now, I'll get a break. They have a lot of little trees and things that they planted out here. It really makes the place nice. The landscaping is really, really nice. Everything you need. You got the fire pit. I guess I don't know what that's for. Is that for a hammock or just hanging something from it? That wouldn't make sense though. You need 2 poles for a hammock, wouldn't you? But you also have the stand-up grill. And then this tree. Anybody know what this is? This is odd. I've never seen such a thing. It's almost like giant green beans. And the sites are spaced out really well too, I'd say, like better than average. And that's my closest neighbor, but I can see where their tent would go. It's kind of tucked away back there. And the other neighbor's gonna be over that way, but I'm gonna reckon it's not gonna be a crowded one in this heat. It's probably gonna be pretty empty here, and it's also Monday. But somewhere over here is what we're really going to be exploring. Like you can see like the weird, like I don't want to call them rock formations. I think it's more like a clay, but there are all these like little slot canyon like things you can walk into and like walk in between these really narrow passages throughout that. It's really fun. It's really neat. And hopefully it trapped cool air. Might be like nature's air conditioner in there. I'm kind of reflecting on the moment of I'm here and it's the last campground. And what might make it the most sense is probably for me to rest, maybe get my stuff out, eat lunch, just take it easy, even before I set up the tent maybe, and then just like hang out here during the hottest part of the day. Hopefully the tree will, and this pavilion, this will provide enough shade. I might have to move around with the shade a little bit, but hoping that we'll do that. And then as the day cools off, but probably late in the afternoon, that might be the ideal time to go poking around in there. Not right now in the middle of the heat. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna figure out what I'm doing next, nurse this headache, and get something to eat and get refreshed. And we're back a few hours later. It's a little bit after 4 p.m. here at Cathedral Gorge, the campground. You can see since we last talked, I got the tent all set up. So let's go check out this nice little tent pad. It comes in pretty handy when they make things like this for people like me in tents, I admit. I love this site. I love this campground, to be honest. I mean, it's not gonna win the award for the trip. That still goes to Lehman or Upper Lehman Creek campground, and then probably followed by some campgrounds in Montana. But for a desert campground, they really did a bang-up job here. Especially, I noticed the landscaping. They've planted lots of trees on the premises, which gives lots of shade to sites, so it makes it a little bit more comfortable. I just wish these trees would hurry up though and shade my tent. I'll give you a shot of the landscape surrounding me here in this little valley. Cathedral Gorge State Park. And what we're going to be doing here on this episode shortly is heading off that way. There's a road that runs alongside of that. And there are little, I don't know what they're called, caves. It's like little slot canyon type, like, you know, cracks in the the material there, which I will read signs, I think, but I remember it being a type of clay, but it's really hard, almost rock hard. But we're gonna go check that out here in a little bit, but I've been waiting for things to cool off because it has been hot. It got really hot. It still is really hot. I really just been sitting in the shade and relaxing, eating snacks, drinking waters, drinking a lot of waters. I think that might have been part of my problem today, not feeling great at the end of our Pioche run. But I'm starting to feel better again. I need to I definitely need to eat. So I think we're gonna run out and go check that stuff out first. And then we'll come back here and have dinner. And that's probably it for the night. But I do have one interesting remark to make. That officially is the last time on this trip that I have to set up a tent. I think I'm ready to take a break. 3 weeks is a lot. I think I'm finally, now that I'm getting to the end, I think I am, at least today, I think maybe it's the heat too, the shock of the heat. I'm starting to slow down, but I'm going strong and we're gonna finish it out. And then tomorrow morning will be the last time I have to take down the tent. So it's kind of a milestone, big milestone, I'd say. And then tomorrow I have like a 3-hour drive actually. A lot of driving on this trip, huh? Down to Boulder City, Nevada, where we're staying at a very familiar motel. Hopefully it's as good as it used to be, and I'll save that for tomorrow. But Boulder City is one of my favorite little towns, so I'm outside of Las Vegas basically. So it's I have to drive through Las Vegas to get to Boulder, and then from Boulder it's not too far to get into Arizona basically. It's actually pretty close, the Arizona Nevada state border from Boulder City. But yeah, I underestimated the heat. I really probably looked at forecast, I'm sure. I knew I needed to stop here and get this campground for camp view. It made sense on the route that I went home. Knocked out Great Basin National Park, two really out of the way places that you normally wouldn't go to. So I feel really good about that, but I'm guessing when I looked at the weather, it's probably gonna get cooler at night out here. I'm hoping into the 60s at least, that'll be awesome, but my car thermometer read 99 degrees when I just went and took a shower. They have like nice brand new showers here too. They're coin op. It's 1/4 for 5 minutes, which is a steal really for coin op. Usually they charge you a lot more than that, but that also marked a momentous occasion. That's my last public campground shower on this trip also, because I'll have my own private bathroom tomorrow. Wow. That's something about trips like this that I really like, is that it teaches you not to take the things that you have for granted, like a private bathroom, your own toilet, shower. I mean, when you go for weeks and weeks and weeks, sometimes like the last couple of days there were no shower facilities, and you have to make do with like body wipe type things that I use. You get used to it. You get good at it, you get fast at it. Probably spend a lot less time in the shower on the road for sure and get a lot more done. But when you go that long without it, and then you have it, like staying in a motel, having my own bathroom will be amazing. It's been 3 weeks because Virginia City did not count. I stayed, if you remember, in Virginia City in a historic little hotel, but I stayed in like a really cheap single room that didn't have its own bathroom. It had a sink, but I had to share. There's like a public shower and a public restroom. Most of the rooms had their own bathroom, I think, but a couple didn't. But I think I might have been the only one that used it the whole time. They were very clean and updated too. So I guess that was close to being a private bathroom, but I had to basically walk down a hall to get to it is the difference. But yeah, just having a bathroom of my own and a shower of my own, and I can do whatever I want whenever I want. Those are the good things in life. You know, that being out on the road is a very good thing, but having balance and having a home base is a good thing too. So I guess it's kind of a bittersweet thing, you know, now that we're counting down, you know, that no more setting up the tent again. On this trip, I'll be taking future trips again, I'm sure. Got a lot of campgrounds to document for Camp View going forward the rest of my life, basically. Hopefully into retirement and beyond. But just, the 3 weeks it's something. I just think that I don't know where I mustered the energy, where it came from. I mean, I started off, I'd say probably the first half of the trip, I had a lot of fresh foods, had a lot of frozen foods from home, salads, really fed myself well. And then on the second half, still made sure to have mealtime, but I transitioned more to dehydrated meals. Not as much fresh stuff, but watching the calories that I ate, and everything has been fine. But I think that towards the end though, the last couple days, I've not eaten as well or paid as much attention to it, and I think it's all kind of catching up a little bit. So that's another thing I look forward to going home, I guess, is my point, is I can go get my salads, I can have that lifestyle. It's a lot easier to do at home than on the road. Doing dishes can be a whole process especially at facilities that don't have utility sinks, which was most of the ones that I stayed at. So it's just those conveniences make a big difference, and they really do guide what you eat, especially when you've got such a packed schedule. But I think one thing I did learn is in the future, I might even want to slow down a little bit more. Maybe give myself another hour or two, just so I have like a 3-hour window of just doing nothing other than being able to make dinner, eat it, and not having to rush. If I could have that, I probably would start making more elaborate foods on the road, cook more, take more time. But I'm pleased at what I did and how I did it, and it's a lot. I'm proud of it. I've been kind of avoiding heading out into the heat, but I just thought, these little crevices in the rocks are probably deep in shade, and maybe if we're lucky, they trap the cool night air in them, and you go inside and it's a lot cooler. So, but even if not, it should at least be in the shade. So I'm thinking maybe it's time to mosey on over to one of these things. What do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cathedral Gorge. A very unique place, if I ever saw one. I guess they are called slots and not caves. I was driving by, there's like several little stops. You can stop at like 3 or something like that. And I recall these being like pretty good. The moon slots. So basically, I think we have to like go in there somewhere. But look at the strange stuff here. I don't even know. It's unlike anything I've seen anywhere. I almost see 2 options, one there and one there. I don't remember my first trip here at all. I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember the details of which is the best or if anyone's really better than the other. So we'll start on the left. It should look shadier over here. But if you look at this stuff close up, I'm going to be careful. I don't want to contribute to erosion, but it's like dried mud. But you can kind of hear me tapping on it. It's really hard. So it's kind of like a cross between mud and rock. And I want to say it's a type of clay. Probably, I don't know, I'm not going to surmise too much, but maybe volcanic ash or something. I don't know. We'll find a sign and try to get some info. But you see what I'm talking about? Oh, and my theory, my hypothesis, I should say, was true. It's a little bit cooler in here. Not like air-conditioned cool, but definitely I felt it drop a degree or 2. Whoa, it's so quiet in here too because there's nobody here. Oh yeah, and the deeper you go in, you lose the wind. But it's like a maze. It's amazing, huh? Oh, here's a little fat man squeeze. I can fit through that, but you can see the deeper you go in, you're going further into the structures, and look at the sides get higher and higher and higher. All right, I kind of forgot how much I enjoyed Cathedral Gorge. I mean, I knew it was cool. Ooh, it's actually got way cooler again. It's like each little barrier you pass, there's even a breeze to go with it, like of cool air. But see how far I can fit. There's a point at which this boy is not going to be able to go too much further. Yeah, see, like that's starting to get a little tight for me. I guess we can get up here. So I wanted to show you how high up. I think that's a dead end though. How high up that goes. I came all the way back to verify. But yeah, it's definitely a full-on dead end. That's so cool. I had to come all the way back actually because I couldn't turn around in here. It was too narrow, so I had to literally come back here to turn around. Now we have to walk through this fat man squeeze times 100. It's a little claustrophobic feeling in here for me. And I didn't wear the best shoes. They're new shoes, but they don't seem to have great traction. Well, the ground nothing might have good traction. It's dry, but kind of like dust on a hard material, so it's kind of a loose, dry slick, if that makes any sense. I like that dry slick. But see, you got the idea already. This is what Cathedral Gorge is all about. It's Cathedral Gorgeous. Making really bad jokes today. It's the dehydration that I'm correcting. But all of the caves I recall are kind of like this, and I'm already kind of losing my way a little bit because there's so many different twists and turns you can actually make in here. And you always got to look up too every once in a while because like it's easy to lose track of just how high the walls rise. Not really getting good shots there because of the contrast. It's so bright up in the sky right now that it just blinds the camera a little bit. But you can see the texture on the wall is interesting too. It's got like kind of glob patterns to it. It's like it's almost like it's mud, but very rocky mud that just very slowly drips down. Glub, 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 but like frozen in time. I think we found another dead end in here, but you'd play the best game of hide and seek in this place that you'd ever play, probably. Maybe not, because then you'd be cornered. It'd just be process of elimination. Nowhere to run. I keep saying moon caves. I think I mean moon slots. Ooh, I feel warm air. This must be the exit, actually. I think we went down every avenue in this particular one. Oh yeah, and then you come out and you feel the heat. It's like a blast of heat, like an oven. That is weird. That is wacky. I need to go find another one to cool off. I think there might be one right around the corner. I want to say there's one back this way. Man, that sun is hot. You don't understand. There's some like serious like temperature difference action happening here, and it really is a shock. Yeah, we got something here of interest. I don't know if this one goes back far or if it's just this little courtyard thing. Oh yeah, I think we found us another. It's almost like a bunch of ghostly figures, like traditional ghosts in like a sheet, like an amphitheater full of them staring at us. Kind of what it made me think about for a second. Ah, what a day. Very strange. They should, like for Halloween, do like a haunted maze back here. Like a scare attraction. I think I remember this actually. I believe one of these holes like this I crawled through, and there's some times where they go to another side. I'm not doing that today, folks. But if you want to see my butt, clothed butt, crawling through a hole like this, I remember that shot. We'll put a link to the old video down below where I was probably a lot more thorough than I'm going to be today, and I probably talk more about the geology and, you know, the reasoning for how this stuff formed, which we may not get to today. At this point, we're just here to kind of I'm doing a 2025 update check to see if this place is still standing, and it is. The light this way is actually really good. It really makes the texture pop on that thing there. Moon cave, or moon slot. I keep saying cave, but I think it's a slot. I kind of remember this too. Some of these do require a little bit of mobility. I'm not going to fit through there, even if I wanted to. That isn't going to happen. So I guess we got to go this way. But it's fun trying to see. Part of the fun is to see, like, if you are feeling mobile and limber, like how far back can you get? That's the game. Because there's always a point at which I've turned around where you either have to crawl or climb. And yes, I do believe there was like a place back in the day where you would climb like a rope back here, and I think I skipped that too, and that's not going to happen today either. This slot is much more open and probably better for photography, I think. The light, because more light gets in here. So it's really pretty. Some of them just are very like squared off. It looks like just sharp corners. Careful here. All right. Yeah, it just keeps going and going, and the deeper in you go, the cooler it gets. Ah, but we found the end. I was hoping we could go deeper, but once again, it's gonna make my neck hurt. After having to duck as much as I did in Lehman Cave yesterday, and now looking up all the time, I got a really sore neck. That's a fact. Let's head out of the moon slots. I saw some other guests kind of working their way in this direction anyway. It's more fun alone in this for me because of the silence. Like when you just stand still, there's no wind to get in here, nothing. I mean, this might be the most pure silence other than the tinnitus or tinnitus that I got after cancer treatment. The chemo does that to you. So now when I say it's really quiet somewhere, I can detect that it is, but I got a little ringing going in the ear. So I don't know if I'll ever hear true silence ever again. Maybe, we'll see. It kind of comes and goes. I don't know if it's a trick of the light or the camera will pick it up, but I see like slight reddish brown and like tan mixed. There are different like hues if you look carefully. Almost like a caramel ice cream with like a chocolate mousse mixed into it or something like that. I'm losing my mind, folks. I am fried. 3 weeks of tent camping will do that to you. All right, let's go back out and see if we feel the heat out right there. This is the exact point where you turn the corner. I step over here, cool. I come around the corner, right there. It's like a wall of warmth. I'm not even joking. There's like a really definitive line. All right, let's head on out of this one Maybe we'll go, there's a thing at the end, there might be another, I know there's more slots to the left. You have to drive down a little bit and park, and then I think there's some to the right, and some cool stuff in the landscape, some cool formations over there. And that's probably going to be it for this exploration, so this boy can get back and make himself some dehydrated dinner. Sounds delicious. I admit I was looking at Yelp. I have internet or cellular connectivity here. Yelp and Google, like searching for different food options. And there are a couple. There's a town called Pioche right down the way. Oops. All right, let's head out. I was starting to say when I was coming out, but some people were coming right in and startled me, and I stopped recording. Oops. Parking brake needs to be released. I'm doing this old school style with this handheld camera, since I'm not really driving down the road or anything, but I was using Yelp. I got an internet or cellular connection here in this park. It's a fly in here. And I was admittedly searching for food options tonight, just to go get it done and have someone else make it for me. But there's really not too many choices. There's like, I think maybe a taco truck or something. I'm not sure if it's actually open right now, but I think they only take cash. I might have enough, I don't know. Got decent reviews. I think that's all that showed up though in Pioche. And then you've got Pioche, where we were, there's a couple options. And then you've got a town called Caliente, where I'm gonna be going tomorrow, where you have a couple options. So I kind of just said, you know, but those two towns are, I don't know, like one's like 15 miles one way, like Pioche, I think. And then Caliente is a little bit of a drive, not anything horrible, but I was just like, man, I don't feel like going anywhere. So I'm like, I'm just gonna tough it out and eat one more night like I'm supposed to of the food I brought. Another dehydrated meal, which have been quite good actually. Got a couple good ones. All right, here we are at this next stop. And I like this one. I remember this one more for, I think there are slots here again, but I think the outside has some cool features too that I dug, so that's why I came here. So there are some slots here too. Can't read that though yet. Cathedral slots, there we go. But what I like about this are these like kind of independent features that are just kind of sticking out like that. I find them very photogenic, and I do recall these from my trip. It's just such an odd thing. Yeah, look at that. Ah, shade. All right, let's go see if we can poke our heads in here. I don't know if someone's currently exploring it. Sometimes you might meet someone in there and have to kind of turn around a little bit to let someone get past, but no different than driving on old forest roads. I assume this is the entrance. Maybe there's more than one. Oh, nice. We have to here's the cool air. You feel the blast. This area right here. There's some really dark corridors in here. You see like almost like a bluish gray glow of the light at times down here. It is very refreshing in here. Just gonna hang out here for a second. I think I already found one dead end. I don't know if that's all this one was. And there's actually, it's almost like we're in an old mine now. They've got timbering started, probably holding up some crumbling bits. And I'm just kind of like hypnotized a bit by the texture in here and the lighting. It's just utterly strange. I wonder if there's another way to go that I missed. That was it, right? This was a dead end, I think. Yeah, that was a dead end. We know that was a dead end. And then was that all of it? There might be more entrances over to the left too. And here's here. Oh, you can go up here actually. I guess we got it, don't we? If we can get through this little squeeze, we should be okay. It's usually not too bad if you can get through one or two little tight spots. Whoa. It's like disorienting. You don't know where you are. I feel like we were just here. I think we found the other dead end though. We did. I think we exhausted this one. Now I'm losing track. Was there a turn this way? Oh yeah. See, I'm kind of like, part of me is like, let's just get this over with. But I'm like, I must see how far I can get without being too uncomfortable. How does this look? Okay, so what's this all about? Okay, there's no way. Well, I probably could fit through there, but I ain't gonna. That would be really tight. And then I get stuck in there, all probably for a dead end around the corner. But this is what I'm saying. You could turn this into a game and then see who in your party can get the furthest in. All right, let's exit the cathedral slots. I'm thinking maybe it's time to head back to the campsite for my din-dins. I'm back in the heat. Wonderful. All right, there are definitely more that I'm leaving undone, but they, probably sitting and watching it on TV, it would get old after a little bit because they're all the same thing. Being here and doing them, it's worth going in them all. And I think if you watch my old video, it might be interesting to see. Maybe you'd see changes that I don't notice here by comparing the videos. So, but I do think I was more thorough in that one, if I remember. And there's a place called Miller Point somewhere back this ways, I think, which is now closed. I think it's because they had a flash flood event or something, but it was a really cool hike with some really cool views. And then you could also get to it off of the main road, I think 93. There's a pull-in, so you could pull in and just enjoy the overlook, or you could hike up to it, and the hike was pretty cool. That's in my other video too, if you want to see what Miller Point is all about. Pretty sure it was Miller Point. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think it was. Anyway, what a day. We started off in Great Basin National Park by a creek. Then we drove to an archaeological site of the Fremont culture. Then we did a blow through Pioche, saw some historic buildings, and then we ended up in this alien landscape. And I set up my tent, and I did the campground drive-through already. So I worked hard today, as every day. So after exploring the slots here at Cathedral Gorge, I did go into Panaca. I was gonna cheat and visit a food truck that was reasonably priced and had really good reviews, Mexican food. I was really excited for it. I just talked myself into it, said, I don't have any energy to make dinner, and drove over there. And even though Google says the truck is open right now, the truck is not there. So not sure what the deal is, but I was kind of disappointed because that was really the only thing that close by, just like a couple miles away. Other than that, there's really nothing else in that town. And the nearest ones are probably about 15 miles away basically from here, and I didn't feel like driving in one of the two towns is one we're going to be stopping at tomorrow morning. And maybe I'll actually get breakfast for once and sit down, drink my coffee somewhere and do that. We'll have to see. I have to do some research. But anyway, instead of Mexican food, I'm gonna have a dehydrated meal. So I'm boiling water, and I think this is kind of running down to the wire of what I have left anyway. So I'm gonna have this risotto with chicken. This brand, Backpacker's Pantry, I had one of theirs last night. It was a stew with like chicken and green chilies. It was actually really good. So I have hopes that this one's pretty decent too. There's my dinner. So all you really have to do with these things is boil water, put it in there, stir it up, seal it, let it sit for 8 minutes, open it, stir it again, seal it, let it sit for 7 minutes. So this one's a 15-minute cook. I have other ones that are 10-minute cooks, but I really like this brand last night, so we'll see if Backpacker's Pantry risotto with chicken can satisfy. It's got a lot of protein. Here's the final result of the risotto with chicken. It's got Parmesan and vegetables in it also. I don't know what kind of vegetables, it didn't specify. But basically, it doesn't look bad, it doesn't smell bad. Now we just have to taste it. All right, let's try this risotto. I wonder if Gordon Ramsay would like it. So it's hard for me to judge flavors because of having had cancer treatment, radiation in my mouth. My full taste faculties have not come back yet, nor will they for probably like another 6 months. I'm trying to keep a fly out of my food if you see me moving. That being said, I would say this tastes good. I don't think it's like bursting with flavor on its own, so it makes it a little bit harder for me to taste. But it doesn't taste off, it doesn't taste weird, the texture's okay. It's got long grain rice in it, and sorry, I'm really just struggling here with this fly. But overall, I would say the thing I like about this brand, maybe it's the cooking directions, is you don't get a lot of crunchy. If you ever made these dehydrated backpacker meals, you'd know that sometimes like not everything gets saturated, so you'll have some like crunchy bits, but the chicken tastes like chicken. Well, let me give you one last late afternoon look at Cathedral Gorge State Park and the beautiful, strange formations. I've had a pretty long day, but a good one. Once again, we did a lot, and we essentially went from Great Basin National Park to Cathedral Gorge State Park and saw cool stuff in between. So I had a good time. I hope you did too. Tune in next week and we should have another video on the next leg of the road trip. See you then.